Welcome back. In your national headlines, Colorado Supreme Court justices are facing threats after ruling to bar former President Trump from the state's primary ballot. The court declared Trump is ineligible for the White House under the 14th Amendment. In response to the ruling, Colorado's GOP chair says they will switch from a primary election to a caucus if that ruling is allowed to stand. Now, this comes as former President Trump has expanded his lead in Iowa. Doug Luzader takes a closer look at the new polls that could help pave his way to the GOP nomination.
Now, we're still waiting to hear when or if the Supreme Court will step in, but President Biden says that in his mind, the former president is guilty of insurrection.
He certainly supported an insurrection. No question about it. None. Zero.
President Biden's view is clear. Former President Trump is guilty. His support of those who raided the Capitol on January 6th makes him an insurrectionist, Biden says. And after a divided Colorado Supreme Court reached the same conclusion, ordering Trump off the ballot there, we're waiting to see now if the U.S. Supreme Court gets involved.
I think the court knows that if it's going to take the case, it's got to decide quickly so that we don't have 50 different states, 50 different courts, and 50 different standards about who's allowed to run for president.
Relying on the Constitution's 14th Amendment to disqualify Trump is controversial. There are questions about whether the provision applies to presidential candidates. And despite what President Biden personally believes, Trump has never been convicted of leading an insurrection. All factors that the U.S. Supreme Court may have to quickly consider. The Iowa caucuses are less than a month away, and our new Fox Business poll shows Trump has a commanding 34-point lead over the GOP field.
That's a very dangerous precedent to say that a partisan court can just take somebody off the ballot.
Trump's Republican opponents are in the awkward position of defending him on this.
I am going to defeat Donald Trump on my own. I don't need a judge to go take him off the ballot.
Now, as far as we know, the Trump team has not yet made its appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, but this will have to happen pretty quickly. Colorado prints its ballots 2 weeks from tomorrow.